just talk about the opportunity to be fighting for the UFC in Calgary?
Man, it's fucking huge. I've always wanted to fight in Canada. You know, I'm from Canada. I never had an opportunity yet to fight on Canadian soil for the UFC. It's going to be in Calgary when the Stampede's there, which is huge because there's going to be millions of people there all week because it's a huge, huge event there at that time. And then the UFC is going to end it on that Saturday with a UFC with the show in Calgary. And so I'm expecting a lot of people to see me. I'm expecting, you know, I'm going to get a lot of exposure in this fight. You know, people are going to start to know who I am a little bit better, you know. And we're on a better place on the cards. That way, more people are going to be there to see it. And I'm just excited to go out there and do my thing. I do what I do best, and that's fight. And if I do that, man, everybody's going to remember my fight. The one thing I want every time I go out there is the people to remember my fight. And if I can do that, win, lose, or draw, man, that's great.
Where do you think this puts you in the division if you get this win over Rivera?
You know, I don't know. We'll see what happens. You know, I like to take things as they come. I don't care where it puts me. As long as I keep getting fights fairly regularly, so I keep getting a paycheck, I'm fucking happy. You know, I don't give a shit who they want me to fight. I'll fight them. You know, that's my job. That's what I do. Put somebody in front of me, and I'll fight them. That's it.
And it's kind of funny, you know, you waited 5 months for a fight, and then you get a fight, you know, you're fighting again within 2 months. That's pretty crazy,
well, you
dude.
know, it goes to show, you know, UFC, you know, if you perform, they like you. If you don't perform, they don't. You know what I mean? It's one of those things that's like, yeah, I waited for 5 months for a fight, then I finally get one. Oh, shit, I surprised them and actually won when they didn't think I was going to. You know, and they're like, oh, well, when do you want to fight again? You know, now all of a sudden they're asking me when I want to fight again. You know, and that's if I can keep that going, great, and that means I'm getting paid. And if I'm getting paid, that means I'm paying my mortgage. And if I got a place to live, I'm happy.
Right.
So let's do this.
Earlier we talked about the Ultimate Fighter finale. Just how was your time in the house?
My time in the house was good, man. You know, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed training all the time. I don't enjoy getting fucking sick. I didn't enjoy getting a staph infection. but I learned a lot there. We had great coaches. They brought in great coaches. I had a great team of guys. You know, all the guys are really good. I learned a lot from everybody. You know, I picked up, you know what I mean, one thing from everybody. If I can pick up one thing from every person I train with, then I'm doing okay. And it was like nonstop learning the whole time I was there, and that was cool. You know, as far as being in the house and being like fucking like, I felt like I was like locked up in jail. You know what I mean? I can't go out. I can't do anything. I can't read the paper. I don't have TV. I don't have news. You know, it's just there's no books. There's no. You know, it's like it's actually like worse in jail because you can't even do anything. You get less freedoms in there than you do in jail. So that I'm not used to not being able to contact, you know what I mean, people when I want to, my family, you know, girlfriend, child, you know what I mean. But I knew it was for the greater good, right? There was a light at the end of the tunnel for that. You know, I knew that if I perform good and I do well, I get in UFC. You know, this was my road to the UFC. Everybody has a different road, and this is my road. And you know, I just took it in stride and said, "Fuck it." You know, I'm making the best of this situation, no matter what happens. Win, lose, or draw, I'm gonna make the best of the situation. And you know, I had a fight in the house. I didn't perform very well. You know, I wasn't feeling very good. But you know, that's life, and everything happens for a reason. And now all of a sudden, I'm in the UFC, and I got 2 wins under my belt. So obviously, fucking, you know, like everything happens for a reason. And I got to where I wanted to be anyway. So I'm happy with that. You know, I'm happy the way things went. You know, sometimes, a lot of times, man, you know, if you watch Ultimate Fighter's House, the guys who win the show don't do that well in UFC. Sometimes it's the guys that lost in the show and they come out and then they perform better. You know, they're the ones getting big fights. You know, I mean, got a title shot coming out of the Ultimate Fighter. He didn't win the show. You know, Mike Swick did very well coming out of the Ultimate Fighter. He didn't win the show. You know, there's
Well, even in the last few years, you have Steven Seiler. He's put a bunch of wins together, beat Cole Miller.
Yeah,
Ramsey
yeah, yeah.
Nijum, Stripper
Funny
Ramsey.
fact, me and Steven Seiler are the only, are one of 3 people that beat a pair of brothers in UFC.
Oh, really?
So, yes.
Cool.
So I beat the Ferguson brothers, and he beat the Miller brothers.
There you go, man. Now, as far as the Ultimate Fighter goes, a lot of coaches you had working with you in the house. Who helped your game the most, you think?
Oh man, Mel the Melcher helped my fucking Thai game
Oh,
a
yeah.
lot. Helped my kickboxing a lot. And Danny Perez was the boxing coach there. I did a lot of work with him too, and it totally helped my hands. I remember I came back after the show, and I was like destroying people with, you know, it was like a huge. It's like all of a sudden I just jumped a level. You know what I mean?
Right.
It was, and I didn't notice it out there, you know, because everybody there's so good that I didn't notice anything. And I came back home and I realized, holy shit, man, fuck, my hands and my feet have gotten so much better, you know. And then and to Mayhem, he, you know, I did a lot of work with him and grappling, and you know, I mean, he showed me a few things grappling that I really liked and I use to this day, you know. So I learned from all the coaches there. I learned a little something, you know, and they brought in great coaches for us. They brought in a 6-time world champion jiu-jitsu guy. You know, he was super cool. He helped me work on my grappling too, you know. It's easy for me to pick up stuff on my grappling because it's just something I do so naturally that, you know, if I see something, I'm like, oh, I can use that, and then all of a sudden I am, just because I add things to my game so easily, you know. So, yeah, man, the coaches, they were great, and I was very appreciative of the, you know what I mean, the time that I got there, and and the opportunities they gave me, you know. Not everybody can win the show, but if I can at least pick something up and bring it back and use it in fights, you know, that's a good thing. And I got 2 rear naked chokes finishes in the UFC, and when I was in the house, we worked a lot of rear naked chokes, so maybe something stuck.
Okay, so I'm not a very big Michael Bisping fan. Tell me why Michael's a good guy.
I can't. I can't tell you why Michael's a good guy.
Nice.
I don't know if it's the thing is, well, I don't know if it's his British humor, or if it's like his jokes just don't go over well out here. You know what I mean? He sounds like a fucking dick every time he opens his mouth. This is his problem. I mean, is he a nice guy? Yeah, okay, maybe he's a nice guy, you know, when the cameras aren't around. But he can be a real fucking dick too. I wasn't on his team, you know. I was on Mayhem's team. So every time I seen him, he was kind of being a dick to me. You know, saying stupid shit and trying to be funny, but he's not funny, you know, he's just rude. You know, and that's what it comes across as. You know, all the guys in his team's like, oh, no, he's a really nice guy. Oh, he's super nice. You know, it's like, well, I don't see it. You know, he was a nice guy to me, so
right.
That's, you know, like, so I don't see it. But, and even then, and stuff he does and shit he says was just, you know, he's trying to be over the top. I don't know if he wanted more exposure, or what the deal was, but whatever, man. I didn't have too many nice things to say. I mean, if I see him now, I say, yeah, you know, I'm not a dick. I'm not going to hold a grudge over what happened to Ultimate Fighter. I don't give a shit, you know. I got to where I wanted to be, you know, and he was already there. It's hard to knock a guy who's already in the UFC and has fucking 15 wins or some shit, or 12 wins or something like that in UFC. You know what I mean? It's hard to knock a guy. Obviously, you're doing something well. Obviously, you do something very well, you know? So, he can't knock his game at all. But he doesn't come across on TV as very fucking, you know, somebody's always got to be the heel. And if you play that part very well, well then fuck it, be the heel, you know? Some people get paid to be hated, and some people get paid to be loved, you know? And either way, if I'm getting paid to be hated or getting paid to be loved, at least I'm getting paid. So who gives a shit, right?
Okay, I gotta ask you this one. Big fight coming up in a week and a half here. Chael Sonnen, Anderson Silva. Give me a pick.
Anderson Silva.
Yeah, how does it finish?
Second round TKO. I fucking like Chael a lot. You know what I mean? He's one of my favorite fighters, just because the way the way he puts it on, you know what I mean? He picks up a mic and he rocks that thing. You know what I mean? Like that's one thing Chael's really good at, man. He gets in there and he can talk it up, you know, like nobody's business. You know what I mean? But I just see Anderson Silva winning this fight. I think maybe Chael surprised him in the first fight. I don't think it's the second fight.
Okay, man. Do you want to throw out your Twitter or Facebook?
Hey, man. Facebook, me at Roland Delorme. On Twitter, it's Roland Delorme 1. And, yeah, man, hit me up. I talk to everybody. You send me a message, I'll send one back, man. Guaranteed.
Are you in Winnipeg?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're in Winnipeg. Ever considered going to Montreal or one of the bigger camps in Canada?
No, man. Right now, especially for right now, I got a lot of really good guys my size. And that's the main thing is my size at my at my club. You know, we got a lot of bantamweights, which is fucking great for me. You know, and different size bantamweights too. We got some guys that are tall, some guys that are short and stocky, some guys. I got so many different builds that, you know what I mean. There's always one guy in the gym who's the build of the guy I'm fighting. You know, and it's been working for me so far. You know what I mean? I've had a lot of success with it, so I'm not ready to change anything yet. I'm not opposed to going out somewhere and like training for a month and coming back home, but this is my home base. Whama's my team. These are my guys that I've trained with, and these are the guys that got me here. So I'm not in any hurry to leave them.
Sure. Okay, man. Well, we appreciate you taking the time out, and hopefully we can talk to you again after this fight with Cisco.
Yeah, man. Sounds good.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
See ya.